I feel so unwell, I can't catch my breath. And I called 999 and they were sending an ambulance, but then they called back to say it would be a 2-hour wait. So now I'm getting a taxi, but my chest feels really tight. My sats are like 92%, and my heart rate is 140.
So I haven't been able to record very much because I've been around people and on a ward, but I thought I'd give a little update. So I came into A&E with low sats, high heart rate, high risks, a couple of nights ago. I had a chest x-ray that showed severe chest infection, and I had a chest CTPA, which then showed I didn't have a PE, pulmonary embolism, which was really good news, but I did have pneumonia. I started on 1 litre of oxygen, but my sats never really went up from 93%. And then I was transferred via another ambulance to another hospital with the specialty respiratory unit. And they increased my oxygen to 3 litres instead of 1 litre. It took about 24 hours, but over that time my sats went up to normal range at 96%. And then today they trailed me off, but with no oxygen it was at 90% again. And then they put me on 2 litres and it was like 94%. Then they reduced it to 1 litre and it's been 93% all day since about 1 o'clock, and it's now 8 o'clock. And I just felt absolutely terrible. I felt really good this morning. I was able to play some card games with my cousin and my mum, but since they turned it down, I had really bad chest pain and I could feel my heart rate racing again, and I could feel my breathing getting heavier. I asked them to go turn the oxygen back up, but they didn't. They said that I didn't need it. And I've seen what they've documented. They've documented that my sats were 94% all day, when they absolutely weren't. Because my mum, my cousin and I all saw it, and it was like 92 to 93% at most. But I've been transferred to like a private unit now. I got transferred about an hour ago. It's absolutely lovely. I feel much better being here, away from all the noise of the patients in the ward, and I'll hopefully be able to get some sleep, because as you can probably tell, I've got some very dark under eyes. So I'm now back up to 3 litres of oxygen, because when I got here my sats were at 92. It was 93 at 2 litres, and then it's 94 at 3 litres. So back to square one again. Don't think I'll be going home tomorrow either. But I'm feeling okay. My chest pain's now gone since I started back on the oxygen, and I'm just waiting for a face mask, because it's okay having the nasal cannula in when it's 1 litre, 2 litre, but I find at 3 litres it's really, really cold air and it makes my nose run. So I've asked for a face mask, so I'm just waiting for that now. And once that's sorted, I'll give a little tour of my new room. At the moment it looks like a hospital room, but everywhere else it looks a bit like a hotel. So this is the little bathroom, shower chair, shower, toilet, sink, and then behind the door there's 2 hooks, and then table, hospital-y type bit, bed, side table, and then lounge area, and then a little kitchenette and wardrobe with a fridge. And then on this side, my knobs machine, sink, TV. And I think that's to strengthen your lungs, but definitely won't be doing that anytime soon. So it is the next morning. I've had the face mask on overnight because I had to have my oxygen increased back up to 3 to 4 litres of oxygen because my sats kept dropping. But they've been relatively stable overnight. I feel fine breathing at the moment. I don't have any chest pain, which is good. So I've just switched back to the nasal cannula and they've dropped it down to 2 litres. So we'll see how we do over the course of today. But I think I'm going to try and take it a little bit slower today if they let me. I don't really want to drop straight down to off or 1 litre. I'd rather stay on 2 litres for a little bit and then, yeah, see how we go. The chef has just come. It's very funny. Literally a private chef and he brought the food in. I didn't order anything, but he's just given me like an order form for tomorrow so I can like pick what I want. But it's the first time I've had warm toast. So I've already taken 2 antibiotics. This is my little cocktail of drugs that I take every morning now. So I have 5 antibiotics. 2 of them are the same. And this is steroids. These taste absolutely disgusting. And they were making me gag so much yesterday, so I really wasn't enjoying them. So I got woken up at 5 o'clock for some bloods and some observations. And I just really struggled to get back to sleep afterwards. So yesterday I slept 11:30 till 2:30. And then I didn't get back to sleep till 5. And then they did my obs again at like 6:30. And then today I've slept 1 till 5. And I did sleep really good. But now it's nearly 6 o'clock. And I've not got back to sleep yet. And breakfast comes around at 8. So, yay for that. So my oxygen got turned down from 2 litres to 1 litre this morning at 6 a.m. And then when they did the next set of obs, my sats were 95%. So the doctor on the shift today said to turn the oxygen off completely when it had only been like 3 hours. And then she's just done a set of obs now and it's 94%. But my chest is really hurting. And she says she wants to send me home in 2 hours. And I just feel like my chest is already really tight and painful. And I'm scared. My mum's already gone home back to Leeds. So I guess I'll be by myself this afternoon. But we'll see what happens. So as you can probably tell, I am now home. It is the next day from that clip. I actually ended up having quite low sats all afternoon yesterday, so they didn't let me go home in the end. And overnight, they were still low, but they didn't seem bothered in the end. And it was a little bit worrying to me, to be honest. But I am actually feeling a little bit better now that I'm in my own space. I'm just absolutely shattered and I've got the worst headache. I've literally been getting like 3 hours sleep the last few nights because they've been coming in at all sorts of times to do things that they should really do all at the same time, but they don't. And then they've been doing things late or early and it's just not been fun. So I was really hoping I'd be able to get a little bit of sleep now, but Mum's been trying to clean the house, even though I thought she'd already done that and it's not even that dirty. So she's been making a racket for the last 2 hours. And now, as you can probably hear, one of my neighbours has decided to cut down some trees. So, not having a sleep just yet. Mum's gone out to get some food and then we're going to have some lunch and then maybe the noise will have stopped. But that might be wishful thinking. So my sats are very slowly coming up. It's now 95%, which is actually somewhat normal, so I'm pleased. I have been asleep, so I'm still a little bit worried that my heart rate is so fast. Normally it would be about 60 when I just woken up. But hopefully we're getting there. I promise I'm in a towel, I'm not naked, but I have just had a shower and for the first time in about 2 weeks, I'm not out of breath, which feels great. My sats have been 93% all day, which isn't amazing seeing as though I'm just sat here. I've now been out of the shower for about 15 minutes, again just sat here, and so I've just done another set of abs and they're not the best. So my heart rate's 114 and my sats are 93, but I actually don't feel unwell. I feel really good, and so I'm not super worried, but it's just something to sort of keep an eye on. As you can probably tell, I'm a little bit out of breath now. I was going to change my sheets just to feel a little bit fresher, but I'm just needing to catch my breath for a second. I haven't really spoken about the medication I've been on. So when I first came in, I started on 1 litre of oxygen, and then they started me on IV antibiotics. They did coamoxiclav and amoxicillin, I think. Yeah, so I was on those IVs 8 hourly for the first 36 hours, and then my body was supposedly responding well to them, even though they didn't do any other bloods, but hey ho. And so I switched to oral, so I was then on 1 gram, which is 2 tablets of amoxicillin 3 times a day. I was on coamoxiclav 125 milligrams 3 times a day as well, and then clarithromycin orally 500 milligrams twice a day instead of 3 times a day. I was also on this one when I was on the IV antibiotics, because apparently this one really hurts when it's IV and it's almost as effective orally, so they gave me this orally. I've then been on 5 days of I should know how to say this, prednisolone, which is basically steroids. I actually finished those this morning, so I don't have any to show, but I'm so glad because they tasted absolutely horrible. It was 40 milligrams, but they only come in 5 milligram tablets, so I had to take 8, and they made me gag every single time, but they have now finished. And then I've been taking regular pain relief, so paracetamol and ibuprofen as well. And then this has been my lifesaver for headaches, not prescription, but absolutely swear by that. And with all this going on, I don't think I've actually said I also had a double ear infection. This ear has been, I've been able to hear out of it a little bit. This ear has been completely deaf until this morning for about 2 weeks. So it's felt absolutely awful. I got an antibiotic ear spray prescribed on Sunday evening when I came in. She says she didn't see any perforation to the eardrum, but it was very red and swollen, and it was quite painful when she was looking in it. And then I didn't end up receiving the medication until Thursday, and it wasn't even Thursday morning, it was Thursday at 6 p.m, so it took a very long time for it to come. It's now Saturday evening, and I've just got my hearing back in this ear, which feels amazing. So it's definitely working. It's prescribed for 5 days, and I am going to take it for the full 5 days to make sure whatever it is completely cleared, but I feel such a relief that I can now hear. As you can tell, this should be saying, I think it's the 18th of September today. So it's been a couple of days since I last recorded anything. I've just been resting and taking it easy, home alone, and having a very chill time, watching lots of television, doing lots of blogging and catching up on emails and things. I've just been to the GP today for an appointment that was an absolute nightmare to get. Very frustrating, and I will definitely be putting in a complaint with the manager. But all my observations are looking fine, bar my heart rate. So my resting heart rate is normally, I can't remember if I said this, so I apologise if I have, is normally 60 to 75 beats per minute. At the moment, even when I'm just waking up, lying down, my resting heart rate is anywhere between 100 at best, but usually 110 to 120. Which is very frustrating because I actually don't feel any palpitations anymore. When I'm doing anything, if I'm walking up and down the stairs, I did some vacuuming this morning, if I'm doing anything like that, it goes up to about 130 and then probably more, which I'm just not checking because it's going to scare me. When I got to the GP's today, she checked and it was 135, and I told her that is quite high, but it's probably that I've just got dressed, driven, walked into the GP, and it's the first time I've really got dressed and done anything like that since I left the hospital. So yeah, a little scary, a little worrying. She's made me another appointment for Monday, so I'm going to go back on Monday and have some bloods taken to check for different things to see if it's related to that. I'm really hoping it comes down before then, but otherwise she's given me the all clear to go on holiday anyway, so I guess it's just sort of a watch and wait and make sure I feel well enough. I'm just doing it again now, and my current sats are 95%, but it was 97 the entire time in the hospital, and my heart rate is 120, which isn't great because I'm just sat here talking. But yeah, I'm gonna end this vlog here. This was my little adventure into hospital, feeling very, very unwell, very scared. I'm feeling so much better now. I can talk, I can breathe, I'm not coughing anywhere near as much, and like I said, I've actually done stuff today. I even went to the shops to drop off something at the post office and pick up some chocolate because I was craving it. So yeah, next vlog will be holiday prep. So thank you so much for watching. I will speak to you next time. Bye.